Guys, Carla with Karla's Clever Crafts again. I am trying around a couple things here with my camera angle. For some reason my videos flip around sometimes. So I'm going to try and see if I can get the right angle for the video. Give me just a second to load it in so that I can see. Not sure who left all those hearts, but thank you very much. This is still showing me that my angle's not right. Okay, I think I'm just going to roll with it and try to figure it out later. Hi, honey. Okay. We're just going to go with this angle and see what happens with the finished video. But once again, I'm going to be making a wreath tonight with this cute little bunny that I got at Hobby Lobby. She came originally with a white paper flower on top of her head and this little pink flower. And I didn't really like the way that that looked. So I have made her a little bow that we're going to add to her. And then I'm going to use just this one flower and kind of put it in the middle. So we'll do that here in just a little bit. I'll show you how I made the bow and how we're going to attach all that. But I wanted to do, normally on my lives I start with the mesh already started, but I'm doing a completely different way of laying in the mesh tonight. So I decided I would just start from the beginning and show the whole thing. So we're going to still be doing cruffles. But tonight we're going to, I cut my mesh pieces to 20 inches. I wanted to try something a little different, and 20 inches will give us a fuller wreath. So I cut, it's 10-inch wide mesh, and I cut each of them to 20 inches long. And we're going to be using this cream value mesh as well as this really pretty pink eyelash mesh. Both of those came from bbcrafts.com. And then I'm going to be using this pink and cream colored check mesh that came from Craft Outlet. And I'm just going to be rotating those three. I'm using a 14-inch wire frame from the Dollar Tree. And I've wired it the same as I do my others when I do the cruffle method. Basically, we want 12 pipe cleaners on the outside 2 rings and 6 pipe cleaners on the inside 2 rings. In order to achieve that, I start by, on the inside 2 rings here, I put 1 pipe cleaner in the center of these 2 crossbars. Then I come to the outside 2 rings and try to go between the center of this pipe cleaner and this crossbar and place 1 there. Come to the other side and do the same thing. Try to center between this crossbar and the first pipe cleaner that you put in. That gives you 3 in each section, and once you complete all 6 sections in the frame, you'll have an 18 total. Okay, so we're going to do cruffles. So I'm going to go ahead and you roll the first end, put your clip on, turn it away from you, roll your second end, and then we're going to scrunch down the middle. This is what it will look like when we get our first cruffle done. And I'm going to start probably right here on this inside pipe cleaner. Now normally, if you've watched my videos in the past, I work only on the outside 12. This time I'm going to actually be working on all of them all the way around, and I'm going to start with this one in the middle, put my finished edge to the outside and the inside. Squeeze it down really tight, give it a good twist, and then we're ready to do our next one. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is the pipe cleaner that's on the outside 2 rings. I'm going to pull that up and get it ready, and then I'm going to do a pink. Got my bunny in the way. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for watching and supporting me. I haven't been able to be on as much lately as I wanted to. I've had grandkids, so maybe doing a marathon tonight or tomorrow. Okay. And when I roll my ends, I fold over 4 times and turn them over. And I think I mentioned all of these meshes are 10 inches wide, and I cut them to 20 inches long. Okay, so now I'm going to place it in that pipe cleaner on the outside. Pull really tight and twist. This forms the entire base of our wreath, so we want everything to be in tight. Now we're coming to the very next pipe cleaner. We're just going to go right in order. So when I do this pipe cleaner, then I'll do this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We're just going to work our way all the way around in all 18 pipe cleaners. So I'll come in on this third one with this pink and cream. If you guys have trouble seeing the video, please leave me a comment and let me know, because I'm definitely having trouble with my camera angles changing on me. I think I might have to do a completely different setup. Okay. So this is going to be real thick and really full. Okay, so now we're back to the cream. I've got all my mesh pieces over here on the floor because there was so many of them. I wasn't going to have enough room to work. Turn the first curl away and do the curl on the other end. Turn the 2 curls face down and just scrunch small sections at a time up the middle for like a ruffled effect. Okay, and now we're back on this inside pipe cleaner. Pull my next one up as I lay each one in so that it'll be ready. Okay, and now we need pink. This one's really curling up on me. 4. Okay, and scrunch it. Now this is kind of a tedious part, which is why sometimes I try to do this ahead of time because it's really repetitive. But because I'm laying these in all completely different than any style I've shown before, I wanted to show the whole process to make sure I explain it well. Okay, so now we need the pink and cream. Make sure as you're going around that you don't miss these inside ones. It's real easy to miss those whenever we're layering it over top of each other like that. So just make sure you don't miss the inside ones. If you're doing 3 different colors the way that I am, the inside one is going to be the same color. So for me, every time I do cream, I know that's going to be on the inside. It just depends on which one you start with on the inside. If you start with the pink, then pink will be there. I'm placing all of them the same way with the finished edges to the inside and the outside. Oh, big solid pink. We're going to do the pink and cream. See there, I almost missed that middle one. It's real easy to do. So I knew because I was on the cream again, I needed to look for one in the middle. Now if you only use two colors, that trick won't work for you because you'll land on a different color each time you hit that middle one. But it works great with three. Okay, now solid pink. Back to the inside one again, so I know I need cream. When I originally was thinking about this design, I was thinking about adding some yellow to it, and so I cut up a bunch of yellow that I'm not going to use now because I changed my mind last minute. I would just stick with the beige, cream, and pink, which is our primary colors in our bunny. And that tends to be my preference, as opposed to adding in additional pops of color. looks like we've got 3 more, I think. Or 4 more. Back to the inside one. Just try to center them the best I can in the pipe cleaner. I'm sure that they're not perfect, but I just try to center the best I can. And then always pull the mesh to the right out over top of the one that you're putting in, so your pattern always consistent. Solid pink. Now this one was the end of my roll, so it's a little bit shorter than the other pieces, but it will still work just fine. Won't be able to even tell. I think it was maybe 2 inches shorter, but you won't be able to tell that in the final design. So I'm going to go ahead and use it as opposed to wasting it. And then we got one more, which is going to be the pink and cream. So this is what we have so far. And I've just pulled all my pipe cleaners kind of straight up so that it'll be easy for me to find them when I go around putting in my ribbons, which I'm going to get ready and do next. So we've got all 18 pipe cleaners in this design already pulled to the outside. And I decided tonight not to do the 6 inches you've probably seen me do in the past if you've seen my videos before. I'm going to go ahead and do all 12-inch ribbons. I'm going to be using this really pretty beige polka dot. This is part of Sam's Club Spring collection. And I've got this really cute bunny rabbit with like the fuzzy edge. This came from Craft Outlet. The beige is 1.5 inch. This one is 2.5 inch. And then I've got this really pretty pink and white check. The white is like in glitter. I'm not sure if you can tell that on the camera. This came from Craft Outlet and is 1.5 inches wide. And I picked this one because I thought it matched the little shirt really well. So that's why I went with that. And then that's also what I use to make the bow for her head. And then I'm also using this beige and white cabana stripe, which also was part of Sam's spring collection. So those are going to be our 4 ribbons. 2 of them are 2.5 inch, 2 of them are 1.5 inch. All of them are cut to 13 inches long. Normally I do 12 inches on my wreaths, but I wanted to do 13 inches tonight and just give that a try with this design and see what it looks like. So I'm going to match up the beige with a pink and the beige with a pink like this, just so that I can keep my colors evenly spread throughout. So we'll start with the little bunny, and I'm going to lay them in a slight X pattern because I'm going to be V-ing these back towards myself and placing them in so that they be out of the wreath. We're not going to be doing any crisscross X's where it comes over this way. I'm going to do them all coming out this way. So I'm just going to do a slight X. I'm going to scrunch down the middle and then V that back towards myself. So these 2 ends on these 2 match. And then you just pick whichever one you want to start with, whatever pipe cleaner. Stick it in there. Pull it kind of tight and twist it 3 or 4 times. And then we can snip this off. Because once we add those ribbons in, we're going to be done with those pipe cleaners. And then push it down in and squeeze it to hold your ribbons secure. And then I'm just going to fluff out my ribbon tails, arching them outward so they kind of curl out. Now we need to do the pink and the cabana stripe. And we do the same thing. Slight X and scrunch down the middle. V it back, match up these 2 ends, and then place it in the next pipe cleaner. Now with this design, we are going to have a lot of overlapping of the ribbons, which is why a lot of times I do the 6-inch piece. But it's okay. I wanted to do the 12-inch kind of, to have some variety in the videos I've done for you guys and show you the difference, what they look like with different techniques. Okay, so now we need to do the bunny and the polka dot. We're going to be adding a bow to this little guy too, so definitely 1 bow, maybe 2, which is one of the reasons why I'm fanning all of my ribbon tails out this way, because we'll have a bow in the middle there with our bunny, next to our bunny. And when you're going around doing these ribbons, same thing as with the mesh, just make sure you don't miss any of your pipe cleaners. Make sure you hit every one of them. And you have 18 pipe cleaners, so you basically need 9 12-inch pieces of each of the 4 ribbons. Okay, so again, I'm just doing a small X. Whoops, wait. Got the wrong pattern going. Small X. I'm scrunching it in the middle and V-ing it back towards myself, lining up these 2 ends. This creates kind of like a little fan, and then placing it down inside of the next pipe. Now those 6 that are on the inside, you could potentially cut those off and skip putting ribbons in those. I'm going to go ahead, because that was the way I'd planned and decided to do it. I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbons in there. But I was actually just looking at it, and you could probably, especially since we are doing 1 or 2 bows in the middle, you could probably get away with not putting those extra ribbon tails in. And then you would, of course, also have less overlapping. So now we need the polka dot and the bunny. I'm going to do the same process all the way around all 18 pipe cleaners, unless of course you decide to skip the 6 in the middle, then you would just be doing 12. Pink and cabana stripe. If you're watching, make sure you comment and let me know you're there. I can't really see who is on the live unless you guys comment and I can see your comments. Of course, also, the more that you comment on my videos, the more Facebook will promote them, and the better I'll do. So that would be really appreciated too. But I also like to just see who's watching and where you're from. Okay, we're doing bunny. I think this little guy's going to be really cute. I actually purchased that bunny last year. I think Hobby Lobby has a similar style, just wearing a different outfit this year. I almost let another Easter go by without making this little guy, so I decided I was going to get him out tonight so I don't miss another season without making him. Karen, thank you. I appreciate you watching and supporting me. I decided tonight to do a little bit different style, so hopefully you guys will like this one. Cut the mesh and the ribbon pieces a little bit longer and then lay them in a different way. It's amazing how much of a different look you get just by turning your mesh a different way or laying it a different way. Did you guys see that Easter tree on my Facebook page with it looked like it was wearing a wig? I had never made an Easter tree before, so that was a first for me, and yeah, that thing looked kind of crazy. But after I trimmed the ribbon tails, I thought it was kind of cute. I told my husband if nobody buys it, I'm okay with that, because I have it setting on my kitchen counter, and it looks really cute for a centerpiece or like tabletop decor. this is the tedious part. One thing doing the 6 on the inside is doing for me that I notice is it's giving like a layered look. So you have the longer tails and then like a shorter look. So that's kind of cute. This just depends on, you know, the overall look that you want to achieve. Hey Patricia, thanks for watching. I should be able to finish that bee garland. Originally it said my order would be here Wednesday, but then I got a notification saying Thursday. So hopefully have it definitely finished by Friday. And then I'm going to do a live video on how I did that. I'm going to be doing one with ladybugs, but I'm going to cover like where I got the materials and stuff for the bumblebee as well, because I'm going to be basically doing the same design with the ladybugs that I did for the bumblebees. Laying our mesh in this way is also giving us kind of like a fan look all the way around, so the ribbon tails are kind of laying in the same direction. I'm also going to be doing a wreath to match the bumblebee garland, as well as a wreath to match the ladybug garland. So I'm going to try to make those coordinating sets. Of course, they don't have to be purchased together. They can be purchased separately. But I thought that would be cute for somebody who's doing like their porch or their patio in bee theme to have both the garland and the wreath. Those could also be used indoor. Lots of people decorate their fireplace mantles and then hang a wreath up above or something like that. I have a hutch that I have a garland on. It looks really nice. Okay, we're getting there. I think we've got 4 more. Yeah, I'm very glad that I opted not to put the yellow in this, because I think I really like the pink and cream and beige together with the white. Like 2 more. Last one. Let me go ahead and turn on the glue gun. I think we're going to use glue to attach our bunny. Actually even make a bow before I attach the bunny, so that way I can see where I want to place the bunny. Okay, and so this is what we have so far. I think that's really cute. I'm going to go ahead and move the glue gun, even though I'm going to let it keep heating. And get the bow maker. Decide what kind of bow I want to do. I didn't really pre-plan this part. I'm going to start with the cabana stripe. And I'm going to go ahead and dovetail my first end. To dovetail, I've showed this before, but just in case you're first time watching, I just fold the ribbon in half long ways, line up the edges, and then cut at an angle from the folded side up to the wired side. And then when you open it up, you have a nice pretty V end. And I think I want some tails on this guy. So I'm gonna do probably, let's see. I'm gonna do 12, and if that's too long, I can always trim it off. Okay, and then I'm twisting the ribbon here in the middle because this ribbon has a pretty side and a not so pretty side, and I want to make sure when I'm making my loops that I keep the pretty side on the outside. I think I'm going to make this loop pretty big, probably 6 inches. And then I'm going to twist in the middle again to keep that pretty side up. Okay, and then 6 inches on the other side. And then I think I'm going to do the second tail, I'm going to do it shorter. So I'm probably going to do about 7 inches. Okay. So let me move this one now. Okay. And then next I'm going to push this tail upward because when I place it in, I want it actually going upward. Then I'm going to do the bunny rabbit. Yeah, I think I've got enough on this roll. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, dovetail my first end. And I want this tail coming down the opposite side of the one that I just did. So I'm going to measure here. Right here is 12, so I'm going to actually put it in coming down this way. And then twist again so that I keep the pretty part of my ribbon facing up. So when I come around with my loop, it'll be on the outside. Getting my ribbon and my glue. Okay, so again, I'm going to do, actually this time I'll probably do 5.5 inch, or maybe even, let's do 5 inch. Twist in the middle. Do 5 inch on the other side. Now when you do your last loop, like this will be the last loop of this ribbon I do, you don't have to twist it, you can just push it straight down in. So that's right. And then I'm going to do 7 inches on the tail again. And then push the tail up again, like I did the other side, so that it's the same. And then I'm going to do the beige polka dot. I think I'm going to come in actually first with this solid pink. Just give it a pop of color and break up my patterns a little bit. Just dovetail it. And I'll start this one over on this side, and I'm just going to use the one that's already there to measure, and I'm going to make it just a hair shorter, probably about a 1/2 inch shorter. Now this ribbon is the same on both sides, so I don't have to twist it. I think I'll make these loops about 4 inches. I didn't have to twist it, but I just did it out of habit. Okay, and do this one, 4 inches. And when I get so high up, I just kind of eyeball it, like compared to this one that I know was 5 inches, I just come into about where I think an inch shorter is, and then, because once you get so many ribbons on here, you can't really see the numbers. I'm going to cut this tail just a little bit shorter than that last one. Push these down in, and then I'm going to come in with the beige polka dot. Again, I'm going to dovetail my first end. It's just easier for me to dovetail that first end before I start putting them in. And I'm going to come, it really doesn't matter which way I come in with this one, because I'm going to try to have it coming down, straight down. So we'll just go ahead and come in this way, make it a little bit shorter. Now this one does have a pretty side and a not so pretty side, so I'm going to go ahead and twist it. And I'm going to make these loops the same as the last pink ones that I did. So about 4 inches. I'm just using the pink one to kind of guide and measure by. This one will be our last one on the top. And again, I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter than the last one I put in, so about an inch, half inch to an inch. Go ahead and once again make this the same as the other two. Just a little bit shorter than I did the last one. And I think I'm going to come back in the middle here and do just a single loop of the dark pink, if I can remember where I put it. And I'm not going to leave a long tail on this. I'm just going to literally make a small loop here on the end, kind of measure, because I want that to just be a center loop. I'm just going to slide that right on down in there, put the loop to one side. And then I'm going to grab a pipe cleaner, which I should have done beforehand. And then push it down around all of your ribbons. This bow maker is so handy for making bows. If you're going to make bows, if you want to make wreaths, I highly suggest either this is called an easy bow maker, or they have one that is called the Bowdabra, which I see a lot. I've never used that one, but I see a lot of wreath makers use it, and it looks like it would also be a good one. Okay, now I'm going to pull these ribbons forward and just twist really tightly. I'm twisting down in towards the ribbon to tighten that and squeeze those together. I think my bow turned out bigger than I had intended. It's okay, I think it'll look adorable. And I need to trim this off. forgot to do that. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay my bow out here, and I'm going to go around and dovetail all these tails up here that I didn't do yet. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the wreath before I fluff it. Okay. And I think that I want to, I'm going to come kind of towards the inside here a little bit, and probably feed it down through and put it on the inside 2 wires on the wreath base down below. It's going to be challenging working down through all this mesh. That's okay, we can do it. There we go. And then I'm going to pull my tails down this way. I'm just twisting the pipe cleaner around itself. I'm going to do that probably 7-8 times just to secure it really good. And then I'm going to push the ends of the pipe cleaner up inside the wreath frame so those wires don't poke somebody. Okay. And then I think I might curl these tails a little bit. So I'm going to show you a trick that I recently learned. Whoops. I'm using liquid starch, and I have just put it in this fabric sprayer, and I'm just going to spray my tails a little bit. Not drench them, but definitely get them wet. And I'm even going to do my bow a little bit because it helps the ribbon stiffen and hold its position. Okay. And then I'm going to take to curl my tails. Some people do it by hand. I prefer to use something. I'm not coordinated enough, I guess, to use just my hand. So I'm just using a permanent marker, and I'm just going to curl these up. And I'm just going to let them sit there until they dry. And then after I get these curled, we'll fluff out the bow, the little loops. Hopefully I'm not off the camera. Thank you, Diane. Why did you do the second tail shorter? I will show you whenever I'm fluffing it out here. I like to have some of my tails go to the top, because if you do them all to the bottom, you end up with too much in one place down here. And by doing them shorter, they blend in with the rest of your bow and mesh in with the rest of your wreath. Okay, so I'm just going to puff up these 4 that I put on the bottom and spread those out, which would be the cabana stripes and the bunny. So I put the cabana stripe down over here and the bunny up, so I'm going to do the opposite on this side. Okay, And then here I did these 3 loops the same size. So what I'm going to do is put the dark pink in the middle and spread out these 2. Oops, I want them to go the opposite way. So over here is the polka dot, up here is the polka dot, and then the pink and white check crisscross from each other with this pink popping out in the middle. And then this is our center loop, so we just want to kind of round that off. And then these little tails that Shauna was just asking us about, I just take my fingers and run over them, and it curls them. It causes them to lay like in a curl pattern outward. And that's what I meant by it kind of becomes part of your bow and then blends in with the rest of your wreath design. Okay, so there's our bow. Now in a little bit, when this dries a little bit more, I will uncurl these and they will hang down. But let's go ahead and get the glue gun back on and attach our bunny. Well, first we got to fix his little bow that I was talking about and glue his little flower on. If you missed in the beginning, I got this at Hobby Lobby, and he came with a white paper flower and this little pink flower and these 2 green things sticking out. And I didn't really like that, so I cut it all off. And I also like, when I'm adding an attachment like this, to use something that blends the design in with my wreath design. So in this case, I took some of this pink and white check ribbon that matches her little outfit, and I made a little bow that we're going to glue to her head. And while that glue gun is heating up, I can show you real quick how I did that. I don't want to lose my little piece of greenery or my flower that I'm going to glue onto her. It's really simple. I just fold over the first loop to about the size that I want. Flip it over, fold it back in the same direction. Be sure to overlap so that you have something to hold on to. And then to make sure my loops are the same size, I just kind of fold it upward, check, make sure they're the same size. And then I take a zip tie, which I have here somewhere. Take a zip tie and run it right around the middle, zipping it in the back. And then I just scrunch my bow together there to give it like that gathered look. And before I do the final tightening, I just double check, make sure I still have those loops even and that zip tie in the middle. And then just squeeze it down. Cut off the zip tie. And then you have a very pretty little bow, and all you have to do is just trim your ribbon off here in the back. This one's, I actually might like this one better than the first one I made. Maybe we'll use it because it's a little bit bigger. And then I just puff up my little loops on each side. And then we have a cute little bow for her head. So let me see. Yeah, I like the bigger one better. So we'll save the little one for something else. And then to attach it, I'm just going to put some glue right back here where that zip tie is. And on the ribbon also, because I want it to have a good hold. I'll just place it about where I want it. And I'm going to try to make sure that I can cover up all there's little glue spots there where I removed the stuff that Hobby Lobby had put on her. And I'm just going to hold it here for a minute and let it start setting up. And then I did like the little pink flower that came with her, so I was just going to add it right back here in the middle of her bow. So we'll just put a little dot of glue. stick it right there in the middle. And then they had actually this third little piece of greenery that I'm just going to stick right down in here behind the flower. That way it ties it together with those two pieces of greenery in the back. Push this down for just a minute so that it sets up good. Well, don't want to push that hard. Okay, yeah, it's setting up pretty good. And just make sure our bow's fluffed the way we want it. She's really cute, and she matches our wreath very well now. And I am actually going to attach her in with glue, something I don't do very often, or at least I think I am. Bend her ears forward a little. Fix her dress. Just trying to decide where I want to place her. I think I'm going to put her right there and maybe do another little bow over here, or maybe even two little bows. So that's where we want her. I'm going to stand her up here and start putting lots of glue. Now you could probably wire her down. I felt like that was going to push her down inside of my frame too far, so I didn't really want to do that. I do normally prefer wiring my attachments though, as opposed to glue. Because once I do this, she's pretty much in there forever. I'm just going to hold her for a while because it'll take a little bit for her to set up. Fix her little dress. Oops, I messed up one of my ribbon tails. And this design is actually, this can be Easter, spring, you know, take you all the way into summer, really. I'm going to try to slip some glue up under her feet here. Hold her just for a few more minutes. All this stuff back out of my way, and I'm going to make a couple little bows over here. I'll probably put one up here and one down here. I think I'll do these by hand instead of using the Easy Bow Maker, especially since I knocked it in the floor. But these are just going to be little small bows, so I gotta twist that in the back so that both tails have the pretty side facing forward. And I'm just going to do like a half loop or a half bow, I guess is what it's called. And then I'm going to use the bunny ribbon. Do the same. I'm going to put her on top though. See, I'm not very good at this without the bow maker. We can do this. I just don't have the coordination. Got to make sure those tails are going the right way. Cut these off. And then we're going to use this pretty pink. No, we're not. We're going to use, because I don't want to put the pink right on the bunny. I think we will use this one. Or better yet, this one. And that one was easy because I did not have to twist it. Okay, so all I've done is created 3 loops. They're all just about the same size. I didn't really even measure. Take a pipe cleaner just like I did the big bow and just wrap around it. Pull it forward. Twist it really tight in toward the ribbon. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and dovetail my ends before I add it. Just a small little bow to add some more texture to the other side over here. Now I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I want this to kind of sit up here next to her. So I'm going to feed it down through right here so it'll sit next to her. And I think I'm going to go on those inside 2 wire rings of the frame again. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm going to go with the 2 middle ones now that I'm feeling down there. I think I need to be on the 2 middle. And when you're adding your bows, make sure you don't pull down too hard when you feed the pipe cleaners through, because you don't want your bow to sink all the way down inside. You want it to kind of sit on top. I think I forgot to mention that with the other side. And I'm just twisting it a bunch of times and then pushing the pipe cleaner back up inside. I'm just going to come over here and fan out the tails. think I'm going to take one of these pink tails and pull it to the top to spread out that collar a little bit. There we go. And I definitely want the little bunny loop showing there. And then we're going to come down here and do another little bow down here and probably be pretty close to done. Okay, so we use the cabana at the top. I'm not going to use it this time. I'm going to use the polka dot. You guys, I've dropped everything on the floor. I'll have one big mess after this. Okay. So I think for this bow, might make the tails just a little bit longer and put it over here. I might even do double loops. This one a little bit bigger than I did that one. I'm going to make these tails at the top short again. Always make sure you dovetail your ends, whether you do it before you put your bow together or after, doesn't matter. Just make sure you remember to do them. I'm very indecisive with bow making, so hopefully I'm not confusing you guys. Now, I did not have to twist the pink because it's the same on both sides, but I wanted this tail to come off to this side, so I just went ahead and twisted that so that it would come off that way. Okay, and then of course we have to have some more of the really cute bunny. I'm going to scrunch it, pinch it before I put it in there under my finger. I didn't make it long enough. Make the tail a little bit longer. I need to twist this so my pretty side is out when I do my loop. I think I'm about at the end of this roll, so I might try to get rid of this roll and get it out of my way. There we go. Twist it again. So when I come back with this loop, it has the pretty side out. I'll pull those up, make sure, yeah, they're about the same. I was lucky. Just cut this tail. Okay, and we need one more pipe cleaner. I don't often do bows on my wreaths, but tonight is lucky because I've actually done 3 different kinds of wreaths. Okay, or I'm sorry, bows, not wreaths. Go ahead and dovetail our ends so we don't forget. It's very hard to hold on to all of this ribbon, and I didn't use half as much ribbon in this as I did this one, so that's why I highly suggest some type of bow maker, if nothing else, just to help you hold on to that ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to put this one right about here. Feed the pipe cleaners down to the wire frame. And I'm on those middle 2 wires again with this one. Push the pipe cleaner up inside. Fluff our bow. Move our tails around, or our loops around, so that we can see them all. And you can always trim if your tails, you don't like how long they are or the way they're laying, you can always trim those. I usually try to go longer instead of shorter because I can cut them off, but I can't add to them. That's better. Think I am going to curl these like I did the others. See what it looks like, and then if I don't like that when I'm done, I can always just snip them off. But I think curling them will look kind of cute. Let's pull these down. This one kind of came undone on me, but that's okay. Okay, that's so cute. Okay, it just gives it that little bit of flair. I'm not going to uncurl these yet because I need to let them dry, but I can show you. Here's what we've done. It looks really cute. might trim this one right here. And then I'm gonna uncurl these and just kind of pull them around that way. And so that will be what our final result looks like. Let me know what you guys think of our little bunny rabbit. And let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions. And thank you so much for watching me tonight. I might be back on in a little while, but if not, then I'll definitely be on tomorrow. So join me then if you can, and you guys have a great evening.